Currently, people can buy merchandise online and don't have to pay Idaho taxes. Local merchants then miss out on the sale. That sale would probably put the dollars into the community. Also, Idaho is deprived of the sales tax. What will you do in the legislature, if elected, to correct this situation?
Incumbent Democrat Shirley Ringo, House Seat 6B.
In order to correct that, we need to begin by joining the Streamlined Sales Tax Coalition, which will give us the opportunity to cooperate with other states that are part of it and be able to tax sales such as those. We have been working on that very hard. Our Democrat caucus has been working on it. So far, we've only been able to get so far as to get a tie in the Revenue and Taxation Committee. So I will continue to work on that and continue to try to persuade some of those stubborn individuals that belong to that committee and haven't been able to take that step yet. But perhaps there will be a little change in the personnel. I hope so. It's something very important to create a level playing field for our local merchants.
Thank you. I meant to remind you all that it is 1 minute, and that fit very nicely there. Thank you. Ike Young.
Republican Ike Young, House Seat 6B.
Very simply, I believe that if the transaction occurs in Idaho, then the transaction should be subject to the Idaho state sales tax, such as you order an internet commodity from Boise and have it shipped up here to Moscow, then yes, I believe that it should be subject to a sales tax. If it comes from out of state, no. I mean, that's a federal issue with interstate commerce, so on and so forth. But as far as inside Idaho, yes, I believe that should be taxed.
Tom Trail.
Thank you.
Incumbent Republican Tom Trail, House Seat 6A.
By not taxing interstate sales in state, it hurts our businesses on Main Street. And I think we need to move ahead in the legislature to try to join a compact because we have to get congressional legislation through so that we can indeed start taxing internet sales that are made in state. We're looking at $60 to $80 million a year. We also need to go after and hire more tax auditors to go after folks that aren't paying their taxes. Representative Ringo's calling for a study of the Idaho Tax Commission on all the auditors have said we make sweetheart deals with folks outside the state, big companies. We need to do that, and we need to study our tax exemptions and weed out the ones that aren't benefiting the state.
Judy Brown.
Democrat Judy Brown, House Seat 6A.
Yes, this is one of many examples of an egregious inequity in our Idaho tax code that the current very conservative right-wing majority in the Idaho House will not even consider looking at, which seems so odd because they like to say that they are pro-business, and yet this is a terrible disadvantage for Idaho businesses who are forced to compete with out-of-state sellers online. It's just awful. The Streamlined Sales Tax Agreement that we need to sign on to has been around for a long time, and the Idaho House has refused again and again and again to do that. We need to change the mix down at the legislature so that we get better decisions out. And I hope that you will vote to do that.
Dan Schmidt.
Democratic candidate for Senate Dan Schmidt.
Well, I agree that online sales should be taxed, and the state should have a fair way to collect those taxes. Fundamentally, sales tax needs to be clear, transparent, and simple and easy to understand, and that's a problem we have in this state. It isn't easy to understand taxation. That would be a principle that I would try to advocate for.
Gresham Bauma.
Republican candidate for Senate Gresham Bauma.
I believe that this may be one of the few legitimate loopholes that we do have to look at and address, and make sure that our sales tax policy is consistent across the board, whether somebody walks into the store or orders it over the internet. We just need to be consistent and uniform, and so I'd certainly be willing to look at this issue as well.